Our destination?
Spring cleaning kitchen.
Let's go for a ride.
Welcome to Girls Trip. Today we are jumping from the bathroom to the kitchen. A kind of scarier place in my opinion.
Much scarier area. Much larger. There's a little bit of
much
the unknown.
larger.
Yeah. I eased myself in with the bathroom, being like, I'm so cute.
Yeah.
This is adorable. Like, I did such a great job. To then the kitchen, where I was
scared.
like, if you saw me at the end of that day, I looked like I had been through the ringer. That was a bigger undertaking. So I don't know what areas of the kitchen we all took on. What'd you do?
So sorry.
We've had a lot of liquids.
Please don't look at me.
I will stare at you.
I did the fridge, and then I did. We have a slightly different scenario in our kitchen. We don't have like just a pantry to do, so we have a couple cabinets that I also went through that have our food.
Okay, but food, like pantry products.
Yeah, so like
stuff.
food products, and then the whole, not the freezer, but the fridge.
Okay.
Okay, so everything?
You literally set up your whole kitchen.
I set up my kitchen. So we don't have a pantry, so we do have a lot of cabinet space, thankfully. So a lot of what we did was organizing just like what goes where. And I'm all about like the ease of access to grab everything. So my whole kitchen experience was what is most ease of access for me. So that's where I kind of
Where do I want
landed.
flour? Where do I want...
Exactly. All baking, and it was full on fresh start, clean
That's
slate.
kind of the hardest part, though, sometimes, is the configuration
of where everything goes.
where everything goes. And even once you know, like, okay, I want it to go in this cabinet or this pantry or, whatnot, it's like, okay, but where is it going to fit best in here?
Transparently, I don't know if I'm settled with it all yet.
Yeah, sometimes the first time is not it. You have to live in it.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, and I'm like, it's okay, but like I'm still, because we don't have the pantry, you know what the issue is with us? The snacks. Because I feel like the pantry is a prime place to
hide
put like different snacks in. The cabinets is tougher.
Yeah.
It's not like made for like chip bags and stuff. It's just different. So that's been a little bit of a struggle, trying to figure out where to put all of the, not so much things that need to be cooked, like not cans, not boxes.
Yeah.
That's been a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, not
stuff.
spices. Like that all has its place. That's been the hard part for me. Yeah. Which I'm not satisfied with yet.
Yeah. I did primarily my pantry.
Okay.
And then I tackled, that kind of like led me to do certain drawers in my kitchen that I didn't have planned to do. It was just sort of an evolution of what was happening from my pantry a little bit. So I ended up doing like our large utensils, like spatulas and that whole drawer. Which I don't know if I'm still satisfied, but I don't know if there is a good answer for that drawer. And then like all my dish towels and a little bit of like pots and pans stuff. Just sort of moving things around. I didn't have it in me to get to my fridge. Once I fit, the pantry was a really, really big undertaking for me.
The fridge is tough.
That's what it's like. If I had a pantry, it would probably be one or the other. But I was like, I have to clean my fridge. Like I was waiting. I was like, give me another week. Like I got this. So it was, if I didn't do that, we would have some problems. I'm smelling.
My fridge is screaming at me. To clean it.
To clean or to organize it better? Okay.
I mean, there has been that jelly smear when you open the door on here for a little bit. I don't know how it got there.
Yeah, you're just like,
it's part of the house.
Some color.
It's part of the character of the house. But I'm just like, again, I know that like I should just stop and do it.
Yeah.
But I want to do all of it. And the fact that I don't have time to do all of it means that just stays there. It's almost like as a reminder, like it's going to be the thorn in my side until I just rip everything out and do it.
My problem with the fridge has been we have a Brita filter now. We've never had one, so those things are huge.
Yeah.
They take up a lot of space. And I feel like the drinks that Thomas and I like he likes his like iced tea, right? But it's a big monster of a thing. I like my unsweetened iced tea, but still, it's big. It's a big guy. That takes up so much space.
Yeah.
And we both like our drinks cold.
So it's gonna be in the fridge, yeah.
So yeah, I feel like if we took out the really big items, it would be so much easier to configure everything. But that's a problem. That's been a problem for us.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with that because we don't have a big fridge.
Right.
So I'm like, well, there's got to be a way. I'm wondering if there's like, should we decant into like, should we decant our iced teas into like smaller jars and then like keep them in like a cabinet somewhere, like the bigger stuff? I don't know. I don't know what to do.
That's like a word on everyone's mind because Milo must have said decant like 3 times.
Really?
What?
Well,
You know what it's from? You know what it's from? We're a little behind on this to talk about, but it's from, I think, if he found it, I think it's from With Love, Megan.
Oh, really?
Really so big with decanting her pretzels and putting them
into little plastic.
So if I know Miles, I think I do. He's been on Instagram and has been here
That's
really decant a lot.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, so I went really deep with tackling my pantry, and I learned some valuable lessons that maybe I can
share with us.
Pass on to others.
Should I get my notebook?
Maybe. So firstly, I had probably a different experience a little bit coming from a townhouse to our home. So the townhouse was fairly new, so it was built for modern living. So we had a huge walk-in pantry and so much cabinet space for a small 2-bedroom townhouse. Yeah. So actually going from the townhouse to here was hard in a way because even though my kitchen was technically larger, they also, the people who had redone the kitchen went much more minimalist with the design. So like there's no really upper cabinets. We just have lower.
And you have like that whole wall too. With
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, where am I going to put everything?
Yeah.
So I didn't really have as much options or flexibility in terms of like, where do I want to put my pots and pans? It was like, this is clearly the only cabinet that's going to fit in. And then on the one wall, we sort of have like one of those cutouts, which I actually really like, where our coffee stuff can all kind of like go in. But then on the sides, we have some cabinets, which are nice. And then they have these 2 drawers on either side, which look really nice aesthetically. But when you open them, you realize they're so tiny inside.
There's nothing you can really fit in there,
there's like nothing you can fit in there. And I have tried...
Like the junk drawer-ish it's become?
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't want 4 junk drawers in my kitchen, you know? But like I keep trying to find better uses for them, and then it doesn't work out. So I'm still working on that. So we do have a pantry, which a lot of stuff goes into. That's where we have to fit it all. All of our, pantry items and snacks, and we even had to fit recycling on the bottom of there. So it was a big undertaking. Like everything had to come out.
Oh my gosh.
So the first, I was a little like stunned. So at first I had been inspired by Rebecca. I think it was last week, right, when she showed us her tea box.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, I need a tea box.
I have to.
I need to get one. But I actually ended up finding a like more vertical one, which worked better for my pantry because it just sort of slides in on the side.
Got it.
Because I had in my mind like, I am going to be stacking all sorts of stuff on top of it if I get the box, and that's going to be
annoying. And you don't want
annoying.
to have to remove stuff to grab it. Just like easy peasy.
So I was like so excited that was coming, that was a great motivator to get me to start in the pantry. I was like, ooh,
it's one thing, transform.
Not to interject, I'm just curious, does anyone else go through this? If you do buy or receive as a gift like a new item, a fun item, either for organization or just like an urge to clean the entire space that new thing is going in?
Urge, yes,
but you don't actually tap into it.
No, I do, but then it's like those videos you see where like you have like a mountain of laundry on your bed and you suddenly lose the motivation.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, ooh, yes, but then I don't fully realize how big of a project I'm taking.
I have like a quick, burst of dopamine. I'm like, yes, and then I'm like a half hour later, no, I'm not doing that. It's just going. Artie would love that. Like if you have something, he's like, I want to make it look nice for it, and and I'm like, I can't do that.
Me a hand soap.
And you were like, I will scrub.
I was like, this place will be perfect.
Do show this.
Yeah, the new thing for me, the new item, whatever it is, it makes me just want to.
I don't think like a hand soap would do it, but the tea organizer.
Yeah, that was big enough to kind of be
that's what made me think. I wonder if that's
yeah. I'm like,
for you.
oh, I'm so excited to get rid of these boxes that are in here
yeah.
and like make it look pretty. But then it's like, ooh, I just spent that time, and then I look
like
back at my pantry and I'm like, oh god, there's still so much more.
Yeah.
So okay, so if I'm being honest, I started this. I had done another, I think the bathroom and stuff like that the one day, and then that night I was like, you know what? Tomorrow the pantry's on my list. I'm gonna give myself a head start, and I'm gonna like do a shelf or two that's easiest to do. So I did like all the kids' snacks because that was easiest to do, and that's when I was like, I really want a tea organizer. So I'm like ordering it now to be delivered at like 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had that to look forward to, and then the next day I jumped back in, and then I was taking Avery to school that morning, and I was like, if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna like really dig deep, I should have done this the right way. So I started looking in the drop-off line on Amazon for like, you know, containers for my flour, my sugar, all of that kind of stuff. Which really, okay, this is a prequel lesson. We are so like trained, I think, to think of Amazon as like the best price.
It's not.
And it's not.
No.
Not even close.
So when I was looking, I was like, oh my god, these containers are crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, Marshall's is 5 minutes from school.
We're like,
I should just pop in there really fast and grab them. So this is I've said this 6 times, my lesson. I'm getting to the lesson. I'm going to tell you the lesson right now. Is that I didn't go in there with a plan. I think I had tricked myself into thinking this is going to be just like I did yesterday with the with the linen closet and the vanity where I'm just tidying, but it wasn't. It was a much bigger project than that, and I didn't plan it out, so I was being very reactionary.
Okay.
And because of that, I feel like it didn't live up to all the potential maybe it could have, because now I have like 3 different mismatched types of bins and containers and stuff, but I was like, I have to do it now. Like I have the momentum now.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting 2 days to like order stuff and do it. And also because I had really started this project 3 years ago when I moved in, buying containers. Now I'm adding to it. You know, it's to start from scratch and be like, I'm going to buy all matching top to bottom. That would have been hundreds of dollars.
That's really an investment. Like that's, at least you just get it done now, and then like, okay, I'm going to plan maybe in like next year and during this time I'm going to try to have boom 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 everything.
Yeah, but if you're just doing it in the moment and just kind of piecemealing it, like I got these from Home Goods and I'm picking up this from Marshall's and you know whatnot, it's, you know, I said to when Rebecca came over and looked at it, I was like, I'm happy that it's organized, but it's not beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not the Home Edit pantry where you open it and it's like rainbows and you know, this is the red shelf and this is the, you know. And I think that's probably a little unrealistic to have that expectation that your pantry's gonna look like that, because it's not, unless you're spending more than hundreds to
easily
decant everything in there. So that was the first lesson, is if I were doing it again, I would take some time to map out really what I wanted to do in there and do more research on containers and give myself time to like order the right supplies. That way it didn't feel like a hodgepodge mismatch of organization. And then the second big lesson was that, which I had realized about myself, was when I'm doing a project like that, like the pantry, if I end and everything just fits perfectly, it will not work long term.
Yeah.
I need,
You need
empty
a little bit
space
of space.
to put things that I'm going to buy next week. You know, if everything just has its, you know, perfect spot and there's no wiggle room in there, it's going to be a mess within 2 weeks. So I was like, I need to have space so that when I get the next, you know, Costco size box of snacks for my kids' lunch or whatever, I have room to put that away.
Yeah, it has to grow. Grow with you.
Yeah, those are my two biggest things.
Love that.
What'd you find, Rebecca?
So I found some rotten food.
I mean, same.
So we took a deep dive into my refrigerator, and I did not necessarily clean. I did because it was a necessity to get the smell and the tangent of cucumber. Have you ever let a cucumber rot before?
Yeah.
They're like the grossest type of thing.
gross.
Celery too gets really gross.
You're just like, oh. So anyway, I had that. And for some reason, I normally keep like the fruit and veggies on the bottom, those drawers. But this happened to be on the top shelf, and I kind of have it organized. It doesn't stay like this, but like water bottles can go on the right. Artie's heavy creams here. The next shelf we have some eggs. I have like a drawer, like random stuff. Artie has
Artie's heavy cream.
heavy cream and cold brew.
We all know about Artie's heavy cream.
So like things eventually just get thrown everywhere and like anywhere. So what I did first was I'm just going in there and I'm just throwing everything out. So like, I don't want this, done. Half celery that's like not holding its shape, throw it out. And that is definitely refreshing. I like that. You know, some thyme and herbs and all rosemary, all that that's turning brown needs to go. So once I did all of that, I'm like, all right, this is like pretty good. Top shelf, I had to like scrub a little bit of disgusting stuff off of it. So that was like the cleaning element. But after that, I really try to like organize it as best as I can, because I feel like if I can do that with like the little amount that I have, honestly, like half the amount of food is now in the refrigerator, it does seem nice to open the refrigerator and all that stuff. But I found that I really do well if everything is like to the front of the fridge. I feel like everyone to an extent will benefit from that, versus like just piling and stacking stuff, because it's like the same thing with a drawer or like anything that's deep. You're never going to like the very bottom of it or the very back of it to grab something. So I'm like really trying to keep everything as uniform but close to the front so I can see it, because if I don't see it, I don't know it's there. And Artie's always like, you gotta look in the back, and I'm like, I just don't like think to do that. Like, I don't know, oh, there's a rotten tomato or whatever, in the back. I just don't see it as often. So I'm really trying to make that a big, a goal for me, is to keep everything towards the front. And then I did like a really big clean out of like the small soda cans that we had from like summer parties, and I was just like, oh, I'll just keep it because who knows. But I'm like, after a while they get flat and they just taste gross after a while. So like the whole bottom shelf on the door opening, I like cleaned almost the whole thing out.
Oh, that's great.
I had some aloe vera left and some like whipped cream, and everything else was just gone. And I was shocked at how much like I just got rid of. And I think that's really the one area. Like your pantry is maybe a little different because things stay fresh, I think, longer. But in a refrigerator, I'm like, if it's fruits, if it's veggie, whatever it is, they just go bad so much quicker. Like you got maybe 2 weeks tops on some things. A week maybe. So that was the only thing that I'm like struggling with still, is really trying to use it or keep it in front. So that's like a goal of mine. But other than the smell, it wasn't too bad. It's refreshing to throw stuff out. I do enjoy that.
Do you guys use baking soda?
Baking soda, I have put that in there, to help with the odor.
Not regularly.
Yeah, I have a box that I try to. I think you're supposed to change it every like 1-2 months. I change it every like 6 months.
Yeah,
but I think it helps.
I think it does too. Yeah, I've had that before.
I think again, this is the biggest fridge we've ever had, so I'm very thankful for a drawer to come out to put all of my cheese.
Yes, we have a cheese drawer.
And all of my like deli items. Love putting all that in there. Do you guys use your fruit and veggie drawers for fruit and veggie and don't leave it out and anywhere else in the fridge? No.
Yeah, I use it pretty much for that.
Yeah.
I'll put like, if I can't fit it in there, then like strawberries or blueberries or whatever will go on top. But I rarely will keep like carrots and celery just hanging out. It goes in the drawer.
Yeah. I don't know how I think this is left over from my mother, but I have like fruits and veggies in one area.
Yeah.
But it's like stuff that I could eat right now, like as is. But in this one, it's like onions, stuff I don't want to eat right now, lemons, stuff I don't want to just like pick out and turn into a salad real quick. I don't know how my brain works like that, but that's what I use them. That's what I use them for.
I have, I think the 2 bottom drawers, things just get thrown in there. Fruits and veggies are all interchangeable there. And I do keep like lemons and limes and even onions, potatoes, like they stay out of my fridge.
Me
like
too.
They're out of your fridge.
They're on like 2 little baskets that I got that actually can stack on top of each other.
Got it.
So I don't put those in the fridge.
Onions, I think I'm going to stop putting them in the fridge because I don't think there's need for it. But lemons, I've noticed they go bad. So I don't know what's going on with lemons right now.
You'll have them a little bit longer.
They go so bad, so quick if you don't keep them in the fridge. Yeah, that green, white mold.
I have a lemon confession. So gross. It happened today.
Yes.
Fresh in my mind. Yeah. So some days I feel like the bag lady, right? Like I just, you try to clean out the car and then I just end up having bags lined from like my opening my garage into my basement. And it's just like, I don't even know what's in all of those bags. It's just, we needed to get it out of the car.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot of time at my parents' house. And so my mom is always sending stuff home with me. I'm like, Mom, I can't take another bag.
It's a mom thing.
Yeah.
It's a mom
I mean,
thing.
most of the times it's my own stuff, but I'm like,
You're like, I don't want that here.
I was like, I can't take it home today. So I have, bags of all sorts of mixed things.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like leftover pasta from that night and kids' pajamas and a book and, whatever that just gets thrown in a bag so I can take it home, right? So most times I try to remember, okay, I'm bringing home food. Like the food needs to go into the fridge.
Food has to go in the fridge.
And so this morning, I was going around and taking clothes that had been in random bags. I'm like, I'm going to throw in a load of laundry and rescue these lost
items.
clothes that have been sitting in these bags. So I found one of these variety bags where you're not sure what you're going to pull out of there.
Who knows?
And I pulled out some clothes on the top, and then there were like some random things. It was like two stuffed animals and some little toy pieces and things. And my parents had gotten my son a little, it's like this big Groot stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, here they are, it's so cute. And I was about to throw them into the bin, and I pulled out the Groot, and I was like, what
oh my gosh.
is that? And like hanging off of his foot is this brown growth, like this big, hanging from his foot, like bobbing. And I'm like, and I literally couldn't identify what it was.
It's
like,
alive. It came alive.
I'm like, and when like the hairs on the back of your neck, you
just
start to be like, oh, this is horrible. And I'm like,
just throw it out. Just throw it out.
what is this? And then I look in the bag and I see in the bottom of the bag this like brown green like smears, like streaks on the bottom.
Oh.
And I'm like, what is what? Obviously, I eventually realized that somehow a lemon got left in that bag with all of this other
But
stuff.
do you know how long that has to...
Oh, I know, Joy.
It became one with Groot, okay?
It's been a couple of weeks. It recognized a tree.
It was like, I'm gonna hold on to this.
It was so gross, and I was like, I can't even believe I just found that, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
I actually didn't know it was possible for a lemon to go brown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've only seen green.
Like there was
green.
barely any yellow left on that thing. So yeah, I didn't even try to salvage Groot. I was like, I'm so grossed out right now. This has
Groot's
to go.
gotta go.
Groot's gotta go.
Groot's gotta
Groot
go.
has got to go.
We'll get a new Groot.
Yeah, that had to go in the garbage, which was really,
That is
really
traumatizing.
unfortunate.
I don't know if I've ever had something that old.
Just you wait, Joy. Just you wait.
It's the pre-kids.
Yeah.
It's coming to you.
It's the pre-kids.
It might even bleed. Short story. My parents, I don't remember who actually left this bag, but it takes a long time for potatoes to become liquid. And
Liquid?
when I starting to just disintegrate.
Guys, we're not gross.
When I tell you I walked into the house,
Joy's like, I don't really know these people.
she's like, I've never.
Liquid potatoes?
Not though they didn't. It wasn't a
were
bowl
leaking.
of soup. They were leaking. And when I first walked into the house, I was like, "What is Dad cooking?" I'm like, "It smells a little weird." And I'm like, "All right, well, I guess it's some sort of. It smells like meat, but it's gone bad a little bit."
No.
Then my brother walks in and he's like, "What has died?" And we slowly start making our way towards the kitchen, like worse than skunk. Worse
Wow.
than, it was so bad. Like it burned your nose as well. I was like, what is that? And we could not figure it out. Finally found out it was a bag of potatoes.
Oh.
Okay, anyway, so clean out some stuff,
So
no.
please make Joy feel better and share some
Yes.
of the grossest things
Dear
that
Lord,
you have found,
I do
because that's
have,
rough.
I do have one thing that
Yes.
was bad, but this is the only thing I can remember. Off the top of my head. This specific cucumber.
Yes, the
Cucumber in question.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking potentially 6 months.
Oh.
We're talking because it was
Is it petrified?
because it was underneath stuff in the vegetable drawer. This is my apartment. It was underneath stuff.
Yep.
And it did get to that point where I was like, stuff is sliding. Why is stuff sliding? And I opened it and I was like, the cucumber had disintegrated.
Right? They're disgusting.
The cucumbers are gross. Yeah. Cucumbers I will never buy too many of for fear. That lives in my mind.
Wait till the kids come.
I feel like listen, this is a safe space. This is a safe space. The comment section is a safe space. If you have something that you really just feel like you need to get off your chest or out of your fridge, please let us know. We want to know these stories. Please tell us.
Yes.
I'm looking at people right now who I know you're watching. I know you have stories to tell us, so please do.
Unless you're our husbands, keep them to yourself.
We don't want to know. We don't want to know. Please join us for the rest of this week as we organize our lives
or try to
or attempt to, and all of us, please remember, and all of you, please remember, just don't forget to enjoy the view wherever your ride takes you.